Famous scientist Joseph Priestley. Joseph Priestley was born in 1733 and died in 1804. He was born in England. He grew up expecting to become a minister, but that was only one of his many interests. He was a teacher, a philosopher, and a scientist. Priestley conducted experiments with electricity. He was the first to describe how electric force worked. This work was the basis for important work of many other scientists. In the 1770s, Priestley became interested in gases, which he called airs. His experiments led to the discovery of sulfur dioxide, nitric oxide, nitrous oxide, ammonia, and perhaps oxygen. The perhaps is because it isn't clear who first isolated oxygen. Priestley invented soda water. He used pressurized carbon dioxide to saturate water, but he failed to see the commercial value of his invention. J.J. Schwepp took Priestley's idea and made a fortune. Antoine Lavoisier. Antoine Lavoisier was born in 1743 and died in 1794. He was born in France. He was well educated and became a lawyer. His second calling was science. Lavoisier burned things. Most scientists thought things burned because they contained phlogiston, a fire-like substance. Lavoisier doubted the existence of phlogiston. Here's how he set out to disprove it. Most people thought that burning released phlogiston, and that's why ash had less mass. Lavoisier burned mercury in a closed container with air. After a couple hours, the mercury shrank into reddish ash. The volume of air was smaller too. Further, the mass of the ash was greater than the mass of the starting mercury. Lavoisier figured out that oxygen in the air reacted with the mercury. This formed mercury oxide. The mercury oxide was heavier than mercury. Lavoisier went on to describe a new way of thinking about chemical reactions. The phlogiston theory started to lose favor. Because of this work, Lavoisier is sometimes called the father of modern chemistry. Marie Curie. Marie Sklodowska was born in 1867 and died in 1934. She was born in Warsaw, Poland. Her father was a science and math teacher. He taught his children basic laboratory science methods. When she was 10 years old, Curie went to boarding school. She graduated at 16 with a gold medal. She was unable to go to college because she was a girl. For a while, she was a governess teaching children. In 1890, Curie moved to Paris. There, she became known as Marie. She studied math, physics, and chemistry on her own. In 1891, she enrolled in the University of Paris. After graduating, she investigated the magnetic properties of steel. She did experiments in the laboratory of Pierre Curie. Pierre convinced Curie to continue studying at the university. Soon after that, Pierre and Curie married. In 1895 and 1896, physicists discovered powerful radiation called X-rays. The element uranium produces radiation like X-rays. Curie became interested in uranium radiation. She called it radioactivity. She investigated many sources of radioactivity. She found several minerals with stronger radioactivity than uranium. Finally, she isolated the sources of strong radioactivity. There were two unknown elements. Polonium was named for Curie's home country. The other element was radium. Curie's life was very productive. She eventually received 2 Nobel Prizes. In 1903, she received a Nobel Prize in Physics. That prize honored her pioneering work on radioactivity. In 1911, she received a Nobel Prize in Chemistry. That prize was for discovering polonium and radium. In 1934, Curie died from a blood disease. Her long-term exposure to radiation may have caused her death. This was our read aloud for famous scientist.